I decided to try living plastic-free for a full week, and let me tell you, it opened my eyes in ways I never expected. Plastic sneaks into every corner of daily life from the moment you wake up until you turn off the lights at night. I wanted to see what it really felt like to cut it out as much as possible. Not because I aimed for a perfect zero waste, but because I needed to understand my own habits better and maybe inspire a few small lasting changes. And the idea hit me after noticing how much single-use packaging piled up in my kitchen bin each week. Bottles, wrappers, bags, and containers seemed endless. So I set some simple ground rules. I would refuse any new single-use plastic purchases. I would use up what I already had them only when absolutely necessary. And I would carry a little kit with me everywhere, reusable bag, water bottle, utensils, and containers. It sounded straightforward on paper, but reality felt eye-opening right from day one. Before the week started, I spent an evening gathering what I needed. I grabbed a sturdy cloth tote for shopping, some glass jars for bulk buys, a couple of beeswax wraps for covering food, and a metal lunchbox. I also stocked up on bar soap shampoo bars and a wooden dish brush because those tiny plastic bottles in the bathroom suddenly looked guilty. I felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Would I manage meals without packaged snacks? Could I survive grocery runs without grabbing convenient items wrapped in film? I told a few friends about the plan, and some joined in for moral support, which made everything more fun. We swapped ideas over coffee in our reusable cups, and that already felt like a small win. Grocery shopping without the plastic trap shopping turned into my biggest daily adventure. Supermarkets suddenly felt like obstacle courses with plastic everywhere. I learned quickly to head to local markets or stores with bulk sections instead. I brought my own jars and bags and asked politely if staff could weigh them first or fill them directly. Most people were surprisingly accommodating once I explained what I was doing. I bought loose vegetables, fruits, nuts, and grains. Rice, lentils, and spices went into my jars. For milk, I found glass bottles that I could return or reuse. Bread came from the bakery in a paper bag or my own cloth one. Snacks became homemade popcorn or fresh fruit instead of those shiny packaged bars. It took more time than my usual quick dash through aisles, but I discovered new favorite stalls and even saved a bit of money by avoiding impulse buys. One funny moment happened when I tried to buy cheese. The deli counter looked at my container a little puzzled at first, but then happily sliced it fresh. Small interactions like that reminded me how much we can influence simple changes just by asking. Cooking and eating plastic-free in the kitchen, I swapped plastic wrap for beeswax covers and used glass containers for leftovers. Cooking from scratch became the norm because most ready meals hid in plastic trays. I made big batches of soup, stews, and salads using fresh ingredients. Wooden spoons replaced any old plastic utensils, and my cast iron pan felt like a reliable friend. Breakfast shifted to oats soaked overnight in a jar or eggs with veggies from the market. Lunches were packed in my metal box with homemade sandwiches or grain bowls. Even coffee runs meant carrying my own mug and skipping lids or stirrers. Takeout was off limits, so I ate at home more, which actually felt nicer and calmer. I noticed my meals tasted fresher, and I became more mindful about portions since I shopped only for what I needed. No more mystery leftovers hiding in foggy plastic tubs. The house smelled better too, with less packaged food lingering around. Bathroom and personal care routine. The bathroom posed its own surprises. I switched to solid shampoo and conditioner bars, which lathered nicely once I got the hang of them. Bar soap handled hand and body, washing without any bottles. For toothpaste, I used a tablet version or a paste in a glass jar. Toothbrush went bamboo, and I ditched the plastic floss for a natural alternative. Makeup wipes became reusable cloth pads, and I realized how many beauty products come loaded with unnecessary packaging. My routine felt simpler and lighter. Showering without a plastic loofah meant using a natural sea sponge or just my hands. It was not perfect, but every small swap added up, and my skin seemed happier without extra chemicals leaching from containers. For cleaning, I used simple mixes like vinegar and baking soda in glass spray bottles. Dish soap came as a bar or in refillable form from a zero waste spot. Laundry used powder in a cardboard box instead of liquid in plastic jugs. My wooden scrub brush tackled pots without any synthetic sponges breaking down. I felt a quiet satisfaction seeing the cleaning cupboard look less cluttered. Everything had a natural scent and worked just as well. No more empty bottles piling up under the sink. On the go and social life, leaving the house required my plastic-free kit in the tote. Reusable water bottle, coffee, cup cutlery, and even a cloth napkin became essentials. At cafes, I asked for drinks without lids or straws. Friends got used to seeing me pull out my own containers when we grabbed bites together. One evening, we hosted a small gathering, and I served everything on real plates with cloth napkins. Snacks were fresh and unpackaged. It sparked good conversations about why I was trying this, and a couple of people mentioned they might try similar swaps. Socially, it felt connecting rather than restrictive. The challenges I faced. Not everything went smoothly. I slipped up a few times, like when a friend brought over packaged treats, or when I realized my phone case had plastic elements I could not avoid. Certain items like bread tags or tiny seals on jars still appeared. Eating out proved tricky in some spots where even fresh options came with plastic liners. Time became a real factor. Planning meals and sourcing ingredients took extra effort, especially midweek when schedules got busy. Costs felt higher for some specialty bars or unpackaged goods, though overall spending balanced out by cooking more at home. Perfection was impossible, and I had to remind myself that progress mattered more than zero waste. The mental load surprised me too. Constantly thinking about packaging choices drained energy at first until new habits started sticking. What I learned and how I felt by the end. By the end of the week, my trash bin looked dramatically emptier. Just a few unavoidable bits remained compared to my usual overflowing pile. I felt lighter, clearer, and more connected to my daily choices. My home felt calmer with glass, wood, and cloth replacing shiny disposables. Health-wise, I ate better, fresher food and moved away from processed items. Environmentally, the difference felt tangible, even if just for 7 days. I gained huge respect for people who maintain this lifestyle long term. The biggest takeaway was awareness. Plastic is convenient, but once you see its volume, you cannot unsee it. Small swaps, like always, carrying reusables or choosing loose produce, make a real dent without needing drastic overhauls. Easy swaps. You can try right away. Start simple. Bring your own bags and bottles everywhere. Choose bars for soap and shampoo. Cook more from whole ingredients and store food in glass or beeswax. Ask shops to fill your containers. Support places that offer bulk or refill options. These steps build momentum naturally. You do not need to go full plastic-free forever. Even 1 week like mine can spark changes that last. I still use many of the habits I picked up and plan to keep refining them. If you feel inspired, give a plastic-free week a go yourself. Track your trash beforehand to see the baseline, then enjoy the experiment. You might surprise yourself with how capable and creative you feel. The planet thanks you, and honestly, so does your peace of mind. Ready to try it? Let me know how your week goes. I would love to hear your stories and tips too. Living with less plastic opened a door to simpler, more intentional days, and I am grateful I took that step even for just 7 short ones.